Hello, my name is Acar and this is my persuasive speech. Today I'm going to talk about benefits of vaccinations, how vaccines do not cause autism, and I'm going to urge parents to vaccinate their kids against childhood diseases. When we were kids, I remember lining up in front of the school nurse to receive some vaccinations. And during those days, some of us cried because we were afraid of the shots. Some of us cried after receiving the shots because the needle hurt, and some of us were very brave and received candy as a reward. In those days, our parents or their friends never questioned the value of vaccinations because they were coming from a generation that saw not receiving vaccinations can be deadly. They saw some relatives or friends die from preventable diseases such as smallpox or polio. Immunizations protect our bodies against diseases. What happens when you receive an immunization is your body gets educated for this disease. So next time when you are exposed to this pathogen, your body knows how to react against these. Your body makes antibodies. They make memory cells to remember what kind of a pathogen can cause a deadly disease. That's why we immunize ourselves. In a nutshell, our immune systems produce white blood cells that can remember the pathogen. And when your body encounters this pathogen again, the soldiers of your immune system, the white blood cells and the proteins that they make, will fight off against this deadly disease to win your war, to make you healthy, to keep you healthy. Vaccines work. There's no doubt about it. Here's an example. Smallpox was running rampant in the world. Before vaccinations, about 50,000 cases of smallpox were seen per year. Smallpox was deadly. And this 50,000 case was only in the United States. But in 1960s, there was a global effort to eradicate smallpox. So almost everybody got immunized. And the last case of smallpox was seen in 1977. Smallpox was eradicated due to massive vaccination effort in 1978. Here's another example. Before the MMR vaccination, measles, mumps, and rubella, they were developed in 1950s. About 500,000 cases in United States was seen. And due to childhood vaccinations, now we see about 100 cases of measles per year in United States. Vaccines benefit individuals. They also benefit communities, populations. This concept is known as herd immunity. Herd immunity means that majority of the individuals that belong to a population is immunized against a deadly disease. Usually this rate is above 90% or better. For most of these communities, the childhood diseases do not exist anymore due to herd immunity. There's a really nice article about vaccines in October 6, 2014 edition of Time magazine. And here, these people that you see are vaccinated. They are protected against the disease. On the other hand, we have these people who are not vaccinated, forming a hole in the herd immunity. These people are possible transmitters of a deadly disease. Who can they transmit to? Certain people cannot receive vaccinations, such as cancer patients, or very young babies, or pregnant women. These people who opt out of vaccinations can transmit deadly diseases to these people who cannot receive vaccinations. You're aware of the most recent outbreaks of measles, and we have been seeing whooping cough outbreaks in Washington state. That is due to opting out of vaccinations. So why are these parents reluctant to vaccinate the children? The first time I took my baby to get her shots, I was very stressed because I knew that it was almost going to be like torture for her. She's going to cry, she's going to scream. But after receiving the shots, she was fine. But I received an information sheet like this. The information sheet is distributed by Center for Disease Control, and this one part of the paper talks about what the vaccine is, how it is developed, and the other part of the page is talking about the side effects. All types of medical processes have potential side effects, but you make the decision. The risk for developing brain inflammation after receiving measles MMR vaccination is 1 in 1 million. On the other hand, if a child gets measles, the risk for getting brain inflammation is 1 in 2,000. Outweighed risks. Many universities, Centers for Disease Control, public health agencies, they all advocate for safety of vaccinations, and they talk about safety of vaccinations. But what is the big fear? Autism. Thanks to popular blogs of celebrity moms and some talk show hosts, there's a wide belief that immunizations can cause autism. According to the Center for Disease Control website, there has been one infamous paper that published in 1998, and the authors of this paper published the study in the medical journal Lancet. They observed 12 children, not hundreds, not thousands, 12 children who had digestive problems and behavioral problems after receiving MMR vaccination. They conclude that these problems perhaps got elevated after receiving the vaccinations. The vaccine opponents took this particular paper as their main argument. Since then, the paper is retracted. You can actually see the first page of the retracted paper in my report. Scientific studies show that there is no link, there is no evidence between vaccinations and autism. It's just a coincidence that the autism starts presenting its symptoms the same age these vaccinations are due, about 12 to 24 months. Today I talked about immunizations. First, I explained how immunizations work in our bodies and how it is important to receive vaccinations to protect children from childhood diseases. Next, I explained the concept of herd immunity. And finally, I discussed how autism is not linked to vaccinations. As an educator and a parent, I urge you to take this issue seriously. Think about vaccinating your children. Think about strengthening the herd immunity, protecting your kids against childhood diseases. Thank you for your attention regarding this issue.